Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video, where in this video we are going to be talking about Selphie, who shall be receiving her rework and her LD weapon alongside with the release of Transcendence 6 and alongside with the release of the Caius BT Plus and Gobez PT Plus. Now, I have already talked about Gobez and Caius in a separate video alongside with my good friend Kaiden, but in this video I wanted to focus on Selphie herself because I feel like she deserves a video of her own, and you know, and it's not because of like favorites or anything like that. You know, like me personally, I have not played FF8. Yes, I know it's a big shocker to many of you guys, I know, but her overall kit though is so good and becomes so much better whenever she gets her C90 that it's a character that I am strongly suggesting players to actually try to pull for, because she is a character that is very much worth it, and her kit and her longevity lasts as good as her kit does. I know that probably doesn't make any sense, but we're gonna leave it in the video anyways. But yeah, so we're gonna be talking about her rework, her LD weapon, and whether or not it is actually worth throwing any type of resources towards her banner. So as always, if you guys do enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future Opera Omnia content. Let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. Let's talk about Selphie's rework, her LD, and whether or not it is actually worth pulling. So we're first going to start off with Selphie's rework to her skill 1 and skill 2. So for her skill 1 drain, her drain ability got an additional 5 uses now instead of the previous one. Then whenever you use her drain ability, she now allows for 120% gain max brave overflow. Then she reduces all enemies brave by 100% of their max brave, and her drain ability now becomes an AoE ability that does deal full HP damage to all enemies. Now, the brave regen buff becomes a new buff called the Garden Festival Committee Leader that lasts for 8 turns, which is this buff right here, which we'll get into here just a bit, because with her skill 2, her wall ability gained an additional use now, and with her wall ability, whenever you use it, the max braver becomes that Garden Festival Committee Leader. So basically they like condensed 2 buffs into one, just so that way Selphie can have like an extra spot for other buffs from like other characters or whatever, which also lasts for 8 turns. She does get instant turn rate, and it doesn't increase the turn count, but it does decrease if you use her as a friend support during burst and summon turn count. Also, with the improvement to the wall buff, she now adds a 30% brave damage resist up instead of the previous 10. Now we'll talk about her LD ability, which is called Rapture. Now with this LD ability, it reduces all enemies brave to 0, excluding broken enemies, excuse me. She increases the party's brave by 50% of their own max brave. She does allow for 150% gained max brave overflow. Then she deals an AoE HP attack based on the party's total current brave, and that brave is not consumed at all, and this ability does deal full HP damage to all targets, and it also delays all enemies by 2 turns, and it initiates the chase sequence. So that her ability right there, not only is she able to basically just like gravity the enemy's brave, but she also provides brave to the party as well. That brave does not get consumed, and the fact that she is able to launch the enemies as well really comes in handy, because like, let's say for example, like you're trying to shave off some brave or whatever, or if you're just trying to delay the enemy so that way you can get your other 2 teammates behind Selphie. Not only are you going to be able to get them have the enemies get delayed, but you're also going to be bringing them, and you're going to be including them in the chase sequence, which is fantastic. So her LD ability is really, really good. Now, the other 2 things about this LD ability is that she inflicts a new debuff called Rapture that lasts for 4 turns, and she grants herself a brand new buff called Operation Love, Friendship, and Courage that lasts for 14 turns. Now, with this right here, her buff provides the party with a 20% brave regen based on their max brave, a 10% brave gains up, which you guys already know how I am with the whole Brave gains up, it is very important to have in your team cons, depending on of course what team cons you got going on, because it does help fighting against the Brave reduction. Now, she also provides the party with a 10% HP damage up, which might not seem like a lot, but I mean, like, with how her LD ability works and just like in general, like her overall kit, that extra little HP damage up, it's, in my opinion, it's more than enough. Obviously it could be a 20%, hell, it can even be a 30% if it wants to. But I mean, that 10% plus that 5 that we're about to talk about, which in total you'll be getting 15, in my opinion, it's still good. Now, whenever you are participating in a chase sequence, you actually do gain Brave based on 20% of your max Brave. So let's say if you're not maxed out on the amount of Brave that you are going into the chase sequence with, guess what? You're gonna gain a little bit of Brave while you are in the air. So that's extra HP damage right there. And you also get a 5% additional 5% HP damage up whenever you are in the chase sequence. So really you're getting a 15%, but like for the overall damage though, you're getting an extra 10% HP damage up from Selphie to the party. Now, whenever you do give her her LD boards and whatnot, right? You fully realize her LD weapon, etc., etc. So she actually does add some more to the original party buffs that she gives. So for the Brave regen, now she adds an extra 10%, so it'll be a 30%. The Brave gains up, instead of 10%, it's going to be 20%. And then for the HP damage up, you get an additional 10. So that means that you'll be getting a 20% HP damage up, which is great. And whenever you are participating in a knockback, you do get an additional increase in the amount of Brave that you are gaining while you are in the chase sequence as well. So instead of the 20%, you are getting a 30% in total, and it also adds another 5% HP damage up, which is good because like overall in total, while you are in the chase sequence, you're getting a 30%. So that's why I mentioned not too long ago that, like, it might not seem like a lot, but best believe, like, once you got everything put together, Selphie is really providing a good amount of stuff for how her overall kit functions. And then whenever you fully give her character boards and all that other good stuff as well, like in general, you do also get an additional max Brave up to that. Now, when it comes to the Rapture debuff that gets inflicted onto the enemies, with this debuff on the enemies, whenever they receive any attacks, they are guaranteed to get launched unless they resist it. Then, after a knockback, it increases the party's Brave by 5% of the HP damage dealt during knockback. So it's a really solid debuff, and it complements the buff that she grants herself that helps out with the party as well. So now we get to the point in the video where you guys decide whether or not it is actually worth pulling for Selphie's LD weapon based on what you guys already heard so far. And apologies that there was no like gameplay or whatever it is I'm gonna put when I edit this video together. It's just, with the whole baby thing and everything going on, your boy is busy. So yeah, so let's talk about Selphie. Really, like, the main thing about her is going to be her LD ability, because like if you take a look at her overall kit though, I mean, like, her overall kit, her wall ability provides, debuff evasion, even though it's not 100%, but you have a somewhat high chance to be able to avoid some debuffs, but I wouldn't rely on it 100% because, like I said, it's not a guarantee that you're going to be avoiding debuffs. Now, if it was a full 100% debuff evasion, that'd be great, but it's not, sadly. She also does provide some healing via her what do you call it, her skill 1. And then when it comes to her LD ability, she is able to launch now. She provides great battery as well. Whenever you are launching the enemies, you do get Brave back after you are done with the whole chase sequence. She delays with her LD ability. Now, the one downside to her LD ability is going to have to be the Rapture debuff, because the Rapture debuff actually does not stay on the enemy for too long. So every single time that you hit the enemy with the Rapture debuff inflicted, it actually goes down, which is a bummer. So whenever you have Selphie in team comms, you gotta make sure that you at least get another character with you when you launch them, so that way you can take advantage of that brave that you get back after you are done with the launch sequence. I can't English, as you can tell. So that's the only downfall about her LD ability. So like, you know, she herself now with her LD weapon though, I mean, she does complement launch comps. Like launch comps combined with her would be a big plus in my opinion, because of the amount of battery. And also the fact that she does have that brave gain, she does have that HP damage up, really complements team comps as well, because you can easily bring Selphie as your support character, and then you can have somebody who does utility, your DPS character, or hell, you can even have 2 support characters if you really wanted to. Like take example, let's say Poem. I know I push Poem so much, but like, you know, Poem and Selphie together with that brave gain, that's going to be what, a 40% brave gain between both characters together. So that's a very good amount to have for your team comps, and it'll definitely help out whenever you are launching the enemy over and over and over until you have to inflict the Rapture debuff again. But you know, overall, like, you know, characters like Poem is good. Characters that is able to provide a strong battery is good. Even call abilities, like take example, the Keys call ability. If you are worried about not getting any type of brave after you are done with the launch sequence, then Keys' debuff from his LD call ability can be a very good one to have. And if you take a look at her EX ability increases the speed for your EX ability for the rest of the team, including her, to recharge faster. So if you combine her with units that do deal some hefty damage with their EX abilities, it's really good to have as well. And then finally, with her drain ability, the one thing I forgot to mention, or I think I mentioned it actually, is the fact that she pretty much like gravities with her skill 1 now, so which is a great addition. So now you have 2 options to be able to like gravity the enemy's brave if by chance you run into that type of situation. So is she actually worth pulling for? Like, is she actually worth throwing tickets, gems, whatever it is in this upcoming banner, seeing as how we are getting Caius's BT, because I think she is paired up with Caius's BT weapon banner as well. So, you know, it might be tough for some players to decide if they want to chase for Selphie's LD weapon in that banner. To some, I mean, some players are pretty much going in for her LD ability just because of how good it is, and like how like she fits so well in team comps. So like, you know, is it actually worth pulling for? Is it like, should you actually pull for Selphie's LD weapon? Yes, I say go for it. She you know, she might not have like the greatest of like ores in terms of like, say like you know, providing a party with like high attack stats, or let's say like max brave, etc., but like she does provide, you know, that brave gains up, which again is very important, the HP damage up, and you get an increase in HP damage up whenever you are launching, so you're getting a very good amount. And she is able to battery the party very well, you know, can help with the overall team comms, and which is why I say like I feel like she fits, even though, you know, she has like a few things that they could have added to her, but like she just complements team comps, and like you know, overall she provides a very good balance of team comps. So in my opinion, yes, it is actually worth pulling for Selphie's LD weapon. Whenever she does get her C90, I believe she does get maybe a few upgrades to her LD ability, but like, you know, even up to this day, like I myself, at the beginning when I first snagged Selphie's LD weapon, I didn't use it as much because I actually didn't know like how powerful of an LD ability it actually was. And now using her as a C90 character, in like, take example, in the recent Divine Odin fight that I did the other day, like she performed exceptionally well, providing that extra HP damage and the battery to the party as well. So I mean, like, you know, like I said, like she really just complements team comps in my opinion. So yes, if you do have the extra resources and if you feel confident enough to pull for her kit, to pull for her LD weapon, if you already have everything else, I'd say go for it. But overall, though, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Again, thank you so much for being patient with me with what's been going on and whatnot, with my baby boy being born recently, you know, and, you know, everything else right now. So sorry that, you know, the in-depth videos have not been as consistent, but yeah, your boy has been busy. So, but anyways, though, that's going to be it for the video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys are going to be pulling for Selphie's LD weapon with the upcoming banner. Also, if you decide to pass up on it, I mean, she does come back in the Shalada LD weapon, but that's a couple months from now. So, like, I'd consider it. You know, if you're thinking about it or if you're still in question about it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.